Hi, comrades. First of all, I'm not dead. So sorry for not posting for like 5 weeks, but I haven't been completely gone. I did start a second YouTube channel where I do kind of like my hobbies and stuff. I've been doing photo shoots and I paint. My new YouTube channel is called 1111, obviously. It's 1111. I'll leave a link to my second YouTube channel down below so you can subscribe if you're interested, because I have a bunch of like really cool stuff planned. I did a music video for a pretty cool band, and I'm also doing a really cool photo shoot this Friday, so both of those videos are gonna go up on my second channel, which is really cool. So let's just get into it, right? Stop talking about me and start talking about more important stuff. If you're new here, I usually do horror movie reviews, horror series, and horror book reviews, but today's video is going to be a little bit different, but kind of the same because I've done this before. It's kind of like a series on my channel. It's called Book versus Movie. In today's video, we're going to be talking about The Black Phone, which is like one of the most popular horror movies of this year, I feel like. And I feel like such an idiot because I got passes to the premiere, to the screening like a week before the movie came out, but I ended up not going because I thought the trailer was kind of silly and I was like, oh, I don't really want to go. But now the movie gets really good ratings and I'm like scratching my head because I'm so freaking stupid and I should have just gone and watched it. By the way, if you didn't know, you can sign up on like big studios like Blumhouse, Universal Studios, A24. They have a link where you can sign up for screenings and they will literally send you passes for free. All you have to do is just show up like a little bit early because it's first come first serve, but literally anyone can do it, and I was one of those people, but I just didn't go. Anyways, so if you didn't know, The Black Phone is actually based on a short story by Joe Hill, who is the son of Stephen King. Bum bada bum, not to be confused with Jonah Hill, the actor. I was a little bit confused there first. But, you know, I actually looked at my bookshelf and I do have one book from Joe Hill, and it's like a collection of short stories, but The Black Phone is not in it for some reason. So yeah, The Black Phone is a short story by Joe Hill, and I think the way that this video is going to work, I just finished reading the short story. Well, not just finished. I finished reading it and then took a shower and I'm doing this. But I think the way that this video is going to work is I'm going to kind of do like a summary of the short story and then tell you my opinion or whatever, and then we're gonna watch the movie, or I'm gonna watch the movie, and then I think tomorrow I'm gonna film the summary of the movie and kind of talk about the differences. And I just finished reading the short story, like I said, and I remember watching the trailer and I can already spot some differences in the short story or the book versus the movie. So let's just get into it. Basically, the short story starts with this really, really fat guy named Al getting out of a grocery store, carrying his bags, trying to get into this creepy little van. I mean, we don't really know it's creepy yet. And then this kid named Freddy or something, I don't know, but Al keeps calling him Johnny for some reason. I just remember his name started with F. I don't know how I forgot. I literally just finished reading it. And Al like drops his groceries or whatever, and this kid is like, hey, do you need my help? So he starts helping this guy, and this weird fat old man, I don't really know if he was old, but in my head he was old, and he was also bald. Joe Hill goes into these like really long tangents about descriptions, kind of like Stephen King does. But yeah, Al is bald. Doesn't really add anything to the story except grossness. I don't know. Anyways, so he's like, hey, do you want help? And Al is like, heck yeah, you can help me. By the way, the kid is drinking grape soda. Another little sprinkle of information in there. And after helping him, Al's like, hey, you want to see something funny? And then he sprays like rat poison or something in his eyes. It's like something poison, insect poison, or like something poison. At first I thought it was pepper spray because he describes like his eyes burning, his throat burning, so I was like, oh, pepper spray. But then later in the book or in the short story, the author tells that it's like a poison, but I think it's like a bug spray or something. He goes blind sort of, and he drags him into the van, and the kid wakes up. He can't see, but he can kind of like from far away he can see this like figure of the Black Phone. And the way that this story, or the way that this house where the kid gets kidnapped to is set up is Al keeps him Al keeps the kid in the basement, right? And the kid figures out that there's someone living upstairs, so he's like, hey, if I scream like loud enough, someone's gonna hear me. But Al's like, nah, like I soundproof this place. So there's this phone, right? Al goes on this story that the phone doesn't work, it's been there since he was a kid, blah blah blah. And he's like, oh, did you hear that ring? And he's like, oh, never mind, it's upstairs, it's not this phone. And then he leaves, right? The kid stays there alone by himself. He like tries to figure out how to get like a weapon. He thinks about taking out the mattress springs, or like there's also a toilet in the room, or like trying to unscrew one of the screws from the toilet, but nothing works. And then one night or one morning or whatever, he hears a ring. And he picks up, well, he actually keeps hearing the ring, but he kind of ignores it because he thinks it's his imagination. And then one time he picks up, and there's another kid on the phone, and he realizes that it's actually one of the kids that has been kidnapped before. By the way, Al kidnapped like 10 kids before that. There's like 5 to 7 pages of the short story just talk about the past kidnappings and like the backstory of the freaking serial killer / kid kidnapper. And the whole short story is only like 30 pages long, so like a third of the story is just like, and he took this person and this person, and this is how this person went missing. But yeah, so he hears one of the kids and he's like, oh shit, that's Bruce that I went to school with and like played baseball with. And Bruce is like, oh, I don't remember my name, but you are gonna need to use the phone to defend yourself. And he's like, how am I gonna use the phone? And he's like, okay, so you break up that grout, you fill in the sand in the phone thingy, and then you're gonna have to the kidnapper, because none of us could do it. Johnny, or whatever his name is, he has a friend named Savannah that we never actually meet. It's kind of like in his memories, and she's like a psychic, or he describes her as a psychic or whatever, because she could like guess things, and she was into cards and like, I don't know, she was like a crystal girl, whatever, you know, whatever you call them. And he dreams about her. By the way, there were black balloons in the beginning of the book. I completely forgot to mention that. He kind of lures him. He doesn't learn him with the balloons, but the balloons were like part of the description story. Anyways, this girl Savannah, she sees black balloons at the end of one street, and she follows them, and she's like, that's weird. And then his like dream or imagination gets cut off. So when he gets the call from Bruce, the dead kid, because we know he's dead because he was never found, he's like, by the way, Savannah did find those balloons, so it wasn't your imagination. You actually, like, it happened. Which I don't really understand how it's supposed to tie into the story, because the main kid is not a psychic. She is. So how would he have a dream about her doing something? It just didn't really make any sense. Like, it was kind of like, okay, a great way to tie the story up. Then we find out that the kidnapper has like a cokehead brother upstairs that opens the door while Al is getting, I think he went to work or something, or he got called in, and he's like, oh shit, no wonder my brother didn't want me to come here. And he's like way skinnier than Al, right? And then to the kid, he's like, oh, don't worry, like, chill out, I'll try to get you out of here. And then Al shows up out of nowhere behind him and smacks him with an axe, and they both fall to the ground, like down the stairs to the basement. And he's like, oh, look what you made me do, you made me kill my brother. And then the kid attacks Al with the freaking phone head thing, smacks him. And then the book said that his nose made like a plasticky break sound, but it obviously wasn't plastic. And then he wraps the wire around the cord, and as Al is basically dying, the phone rings, and the kid is like, Al, it's for you. In my opinion, the story was kind of like underwhelming. I don't know why the whole killing brother thing was added, or how the kid was able to see that his friend Savannah found the balloons at the end of the street. I don't know. Also, one big difference that I did notice was in the character description, because in the trailer, the kidnapper wears like a super weird, scary mask, and he's obviously not fat. He's very much skinny. In the book, he's fat. So I'm thinking, what if in the movie, the kidnapper is actually one of the kids that was kidnapped before, or something like that? Maybe that's gonna be the big plot twist. But we're gonna find out. By the way, I found the movie on a sketchy Russian website, as I usually do, because somehow, I don't know, these sites are able to get HD versions of everything. Anyways, I'll let you know how it goes, and then I'll see you in a bit when I finish watching the movie, which I'm actually very excited for. Yeah, see ya. Good morning, comrades. I watched the movie yesterday, and it was actually pretty good. I was surprisingly surprised, even though I knew that the movie got pretty good ratings. I still kind of went into it being kind of like meh, because of the short story. It wasn't that interesting, but the movie is actually pretty good. So basically, just like the movie, one of the big differences was that the guy, like the kidnapper, he wasn't fat. I don't know why I'm so stuck up on that, but just like Joe Hill, he went into such deep detail explaining how fat and ugly and bald the kidnapper was. But in the movie, they just put a mask on him. Overall, he didn't look anything like Joe Hill described him in the book. And then you know how in the book, the kid, by the way, his name is Finney, but I think in the book it was Finley. But for some reason in the movie it's Finney. Anyways, you know how he had a friend named Savannah that was kind of like psychic? In the movie it's actually his sister, and she's the one that finds him through her dream. And the way that her powers are explained is because her mom had it. And obviously his brother and his sister, their dad is obviously an alcoholic, because that's how these kind of movies work. And she keeps dreaming that her brother was kidnapped and taken to this house with this big tree, and she keeps dreaming about the tree, and she's basically the one that brings the cops to this house, and they raid it. And yeah, it turns out that he actually wasn't in that house, but he was in the house right across the street, because he comes out and she's like, and then there's this scene where all the cops are running into the house and she's running the opposite direction to hug her brother. And then you know how in the book, Al, the kidnapper, he killed his brother? They put that in the movie also. He like literally smashed him with a hammer. And then the kid, the way that he got out is he beat him with the phone, just like in the book, and then he strangled him with the cord. It was really nice. Oh, by the way, in the movie, they took a lot of like spoken lines from the kidnapper, and they actually put it in the movie like one of those like, don't be scared, I'm not gonna hurt you. It was actually really cool. Like they literally did a word for word. I didn't expect them to do that. The movie also added a bunch of stuff where the kid actually gets out like multiple times out of the room, but it's like a game basically that the kidnapper plays, and then he beats him up for getting out. He like pretends to sleep and then beats him up, and the game is called like Naughty Boy or something. But yeah, overall the movie had a happy ending. The book was kind of like open-ended. You didn't know if the kid actually got out or not, because I'm pretty sure like the basement door would close on its own, but whatever. In the movie he did get out, and his sister went to hug him, and then their alcoholic dad was like, you're back, or whatever. Overall I would rate the movie like a 7 out of 10. It was pretty good, I think. Really suspenseful. I really like how in the movie they actually added like the ghost kids, and they actually put them in the movie. Like when Finney was talking on the phone to the ghost kids on the black phone, you could see them behind him, or like they would like pop out and talk to him, you know. But yeah, I enjoyed the differences that they created in the movie versus the book. Oh look, that's Luna's resting over there. I don't know if you can see her in the corner. I really enjoyed the movie. 7 out of 10. Pretty good. I don't know if I would watch it again, just because I don't know, like most of the movie takes place in this dark basement area. Maybe it would be different if I watched it in the movies. I'm not really sure, but yesterday, just a 7 out of 10. So yeah, I think that's all. If you like this video, please give it a like, and if you enjoy horror stuff, please make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel, because I post videos whenever I want to at this point. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye, comrades.